Hello Rabble, welcome back to the channel. I'm Ben, and today, like every Monday, I will inundate you with tons of news, the best VR news from the past week. As always, I thank all my supporters of the week. I thank you for your generosity and I send you a hug. But I also thank who are subscribing. Keep it up and remember to watch my video completely, watch all the adverts, like the videos and comment, because it's you doing my channel always greater. So thank you all. Let's start with the news. Do you remember the exclusive that should have arrived on Pico 4, that it will attract a sea of new users to this headset? And no, it's not a cheap game created by an indie developer, but we are talking about Just Dance, which is Ubisoft. Those who recently brought out that masterpiece called Assassin's Creed VR, well, it seems to have been forgotten, and instead Ubisoft announced that the development will come to an end, but working with another partner. So yeah, finally Pico will have its great exclusive, not even for shit. Given that the new partner is intended as a new platform, the identity of this new partner is not known at the moment. Meta declares itself inclined to finance the project, but it seems that Sony is also involved. At the moment, we don't know nothing else. Ubisoft declared that the Just Dance VR release date will be announced later, but I don't know. I have the impression that Ubisoft is taking a liking into VR, because after the success of Nexus, he comes out saying he wants to end Just Dance. So let's see. Ubisoft begin to develop seriously in VR. More players enter into VR attracted by Ubisoft. More major developers develop in VR. Given the increase of VR users, VR games make the leap in quality that we has been waiting for in more than 10 years. I'd say here we are. And speaking of big production, nDreams has been acquired by Aonic Group for $110 million, joining the team formed by other developers like Warren Spector, Other Side Entertainment, and other who are already part of the group. Not much will change for nDreams, as it will continue to develop VR games, and since founders, co-founders, CEO will remain the same, it will simply have a lot of more money to develop much more elaborated games, a project that they was already pursuing internally with the creation of Elevation, an internal department in nDreams for the development of superior quality games. Well, now they will have a lot more money, so go ahead nDreams and show us what you're capable to. I already told you about in a video from 2 days ago, Meta has not only lowered the price of Quest 2 by 50 euros, but on the occasion of the Black Friday and Cyber Monday, he further discounted the headset by another 50 euros, both the 128 and 256 gigabytes. It's undoubtedly a great deal if you want a great VR headset and you do not own one yet, and especially if you are impatient and don't want to wait. However, I will not buy a Quest 2 right now, and if you want to know why, just look at the video I posted 2 days ago and remember to activate English subtitle, because the video is in Italian, and let me know if you want the English version. Do you want to compare how much it cost Meta to produce Quest 3 with how much it cost to Apple to produce Vision Pro? Come on, let's do the math. For Quest 3, the cost is battery, around $8, controllers, $33, cameras and sensors, $41, lenses and IPD adjustment $53, display and optics $133, chipset and cooling system $151, assembly cost $30 plus other small costs for other components and accessories like speakers, microphone, battery, charger, and packaging. So, excluding development and research cost, Quest 3 cost to Meta $430. This means that probably they have no profit, or even lose out on the 128GB version. But let's go see Apple. Battery approximately $25, front display $60, cameras and sensors $113, external structure and body $132, lenses and IPD adjustment $260, chipset and cooling system $286, micro display by Sony $700, plus assembly cost and the minimum other costs. Even in this case, for speaker, microphone, battery charger and packaging, Apple Pro cost to Apple around $1,700, and even in this case excluding development and research cost, and resell it for $3,500. Now, it's not that those at Apple wanna be smarter and make extra money on the headset, selling it for more than double what it costs to them. In fact, must be considered that Apple Vision Pro has been in development for 6 years, billions of dollars have been invested into the project, and it will be difficult to produce high volumes of units because these micro displays have highly limited production cost. So much so that Apple is already thinking about a Vision L or S with reduced features and slightly cheaper components that will be certainly still be sold at a stellar price, increasing the gap between production cost and profits. Apple. Okay guys, some of you asked me to make a video with the games to get on Meta Store for Black Friday, but guys, sorry, I have too much to do and I definitely can do it. The best I've managed to do is this. Look at this. Until November 28 on the Meta Store, there is a 40% discount on a lot of games. They are so many, and to get the discount code, you must use the code BFCM23 at the time of your purchase. These you are seeing right now are all games offered for the Black Friday, and to reach this page, just click on the link I leave you in the first comment, where you can also find all the links to purchase, for example, Quest 3 on Amazon, my referral link to obtain 30 euros credit, and the Telegram group with all the games in my library at 25% discount. Okay, let's go ahead and let's talk about a major delay, namely Bulletstorm VR, initially scheduled for release on December 14 on Quest PCVR and PSVR 2. Now it should arrive always on the same platforms on January 18th. Therefore, we are always in the range of the most desired games arriving in the Christmas period, together with Assassin's Creed Nexus, Asgard Wrath 2, Arizona Sunshine 2, and the upcoming Sniper Elite VR Winter Warrior. All games that you will definitely see on this channel, so keep following. Another important delay is that of Vertigo 2, which has suffered several since it was announced on PSVR 2, and now there is a new release date, which is December 12. What year, you may ask, but don't worry, it should be 2023. If you want news on yet another postponement, continue following. And here is the roadmap of Dungeons of Eternity, a fantasy multiplayer RPG which from December 2023 will release a series of additional contents such as offline mode, new monsters, new rooms, new weapons, new game mods, new bosses, and a played single-player DLC, and much more. This roadmap does not include the publication of a PC version or other platform, so for the moment it will remain a Quest exclusive. And the delay is spreading and also affects Stranger Things VR, which was supposed to arrive on November 3rd, but no. The game will put you on the show of Vecna, so we will play as the monster this time. But we don't know when, given that no new date has been reconfirmed at the moment. So I will keep an eye on the new date, and when I will know, I will tell you. In the meantime, subscribe and continue following. Arken Age is a sci-fi with combat that use physics, set in a wild world in which an advanced technology has been developed, made of half-mechanical aliens beings, futuristic weapons, and computerized system. This is a single-player adventure that should last around 10 hours. The launch windows should be in the first month of 2024 on PSVR 2, Steam VR and Rift. So this means that there is no currently a Quest version. And I conclude with a super new that I mentioned in the video from 2 days ago. Pico 4 have an offer which you can still take advantage for few hours. In fact, it expired today. During the Black Friday and the Cyber Monday, you can buy Pico 4 for 330 euros for the 128GB version and 400 euros for the 256GB version, but with 3 games, which are Green Hell VR, Warplanes Battle Over Pacific, and Arizona Sunshine 2. Pico 4 is still one of the best headsets, both as a standalone and PC VR device, because it has definitely better features than Quest 2 and a lower price than Quest 3. So it sits in that range for those users who don't have the budget to purchase Quest 3, but they also want a valid headset even for first experience. And overall, now that it's offered with these crazy games, it's the best occasion to take advantage of it. Alright, Rabble, this was the best VR and gaming news of the week. See ya in the comments to discuss about the topic covered, hoping that you understood what I said and the contents, and the hope I have not to lose further esteem in mankind. Reading your comments, I invite you to put a like, which will be the OK icon with the thumb up. Subscribe to the channel pressing the subscribe button, it's also written on it, and watch the advertisement that start at the end of this video. It doesn't cost you anything. If you want, support the channel via the super thanks button, which is the shaped one with the symbol of the dollar inside, and thanks for watching the video completely. That's all from Ben, see you next time, and greetings, Rabble.